we here. 1 minute. How about now? How about not a minute? How about we just going right now? How are y'all doing today? What up, King Cheese? What up, Zadus? What up, Cheese Lord? The cheeses are here. Alright, for those who don't remember what happened last time, understandable. Oops. Can I click this? There we go. What up, Joel? Joel. Saying hype at the same time? I gotcha. So for those who weren't here last time, you didn't get to see the stream just suddenly shut off, like, immediately. For those, the canon story, yeah. So this game is legendary. It is legendary. Zadus, have you played it before? Because this game is best game of all time, in my opinion. So, canon. I did complete canon story. I cannot show the ending on stream, because from what I understand, the last few scenes of the canon story are scenes that show up in the anime. Because of that, I cannot show the rest. But I have on a note card around here information as to what happened. So if I could find that, it's this card. It's right here. Nope. It is this one. Yeah, this one. Cool. Alright, so, haven't played it? Gotcha. So yeah, the canon anime takes place after the game, just letting you guys know. But what ended up happening at the end of the canon one, the stream ended up cutting off right when it reveals Canon's injuries, which Canon really didn't have too many injuries. Alphard has the same exact tattoo as Canon because both are snakes, though Canon believes that she's the white snake and Alphard's the black snake, symbolizing good and evil. Alphard has a pretty killer like big scar on her shoulder because of getting shot by Canon, but Alphard does escape and he is not able to shoot Canon. Canon protects everyone from the UA virus, and then it fast forwards to present time where she's on the plane. She calls Maria. Maria says that she's alright. Canon says that she's alright and is coming to meet Maria. And then the entire rest of the thing that you guys missed was Canon talks to a helicopter pilot who is supposed to escort her to talk to Maria and just to explore Japan to find Alphard. She plays dumb. The helicopter pilot tells her that, you know, there's heroes that saved Shibuya and Maria's in police custody, just being questioned about just things that happened and if she's okay. Osawa's okay. He didn't get shot in that timeline. Everyone is fine. And that's pretty much the end of Canon walking towards Light, refusing the helicopter, and saying she has unfinished business with Alphard. That's pretty much the gist of the Canon storyline. 2 plays after the game. Yeah, 2 years? I believe so. What up, Caitlin, by the way? How's it going? And what up, Gago? So, we have 3 scenarios left to show off. Now, here is something I need to let you guys know. Hey, Sparky, how's it going? I am using my phone to find the last 3. After some extensive research, I have found some baffling information. Baffling to me. I don't know about you guys, but baffling to me. In order to find these last 3 scenarios, the game doesn't tell you anything. So after you, and what up, Cheese Lord? After you beat this game, after you beat the Canon and Suzune storylines, the side stories, I was expecting the finale after finale. No, finale after the copyright thing. Oh, it was crazy, Katone-kun. So, to let you guys know what's going on. After you beat Suzune and Canon story, you unlock another scenario, but the game does not tell you that the scenario exists. There is nothing to indicate that you unlock anything. The way you're supposed to find out, from what I understand, because the game has been pretty good about like explaining things, the way you're supposed to find out is when you purchase the physical copy of the game in Japan. I believe it came with a book, like one of those like little book guides that says, hey, when you beat the game, go to these places to find some additional information, additional scenes. It's like a little mini strategy guide. And Japanese players would get these guides, find the scenarios, and go. What we have is good old Google. I've already found one of them, and I found it, funny enough, the last one first, which was not the best idea. Actually, no. I found the first one. Never mind. Cool. So, we're going to show off every single one. I did already find it, so you guys may notice that when we saw this before, if you guys really remember, using that info on the internet, people had extra information originally. True. Very true. I didn't know about it, though, Katone, until way later. I didn't know about the fact that they got this guide until 2 streams ago of 428 Shibuya Scramble. I still wanted to stick to what they all knew, but for these last 3, yeah, what I thought was going to be a lot of stuff, it turns out I could just look it up. So, you guys may notice finding the van, that guy, and Hitomi approaches the van, but flagged down by cannon is a new thing. If we at Achi's Path at 1530, what is it? I've been wondering something. Yeah? About your shirt. There's another face to this city. When you casually gaze at the sights amidst all of the normal everyday things, there are stories that nobody has told. Let this tale of one brave fellow fighting in secret now be a secret no longer. Haikamo. Who is this fellow, you may ask? Mean fucking clean, boys and girls. Huff, huff, huff. Labored breathing came from a shrub along the road where the minivan had exploded. Humph. This damage, it's way worse than I thought. The muttering voice was punctuated by further halting breaths. And the speaker had a name. Okay, next one. I walk under the throng of people toward the scene of the explosion. The explosion happened in Shibuya-ku, Jinan Onecombe, near the intersection of Koendori and Oregon Hill. A number of curious onlookers have flocked to the scene, but it turns out there were some other individuals there as well. Who would it be? But me, Queen. Hang out. Oh, I'm sorry, Cheese Lord. 4:00 p.m. The scene of the explosion. What the heck? What's going on? Cried Big Joe, gazing up at the rising plume of black smoke. A crowd of emergency workers and curious onlookers milled around the scene of the explosion, but none noticed the empty can standing by the roadside. Hey, Flaps! Big Joe turned to the dumbstruck juice box sitting beside him. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, how am I supposed to know?
Flaps gave a shrug.
Though there is one thing I do know for sure.
His expression turned grim.
We've lost a lot of our friends.
It wasn't just humans who had been caught up in the explosion. A bag of recyclables near the minivan had also caught in the blast, and all the trash inside it had been burned to cinders. Like Flaps and Big Joe, the other trash had been waiting to be brought to the recycling plant to start a new life.
Damn it. And right when we're all on the cusp of being reborn.
Big Joe bit his lip in frustration.
Cardbutt, Illumamon, old scraps. I won't forget you guys.
Tears of coffee streamed from Big Joe's eyes.
Big Joe, Flaps mumbled. Take a look at this.
There was a small green mass stuck to the surface of the road.
What do you think that is?
The thing was sticky and it gave off a foul stench. It pulsed rhythmically as if it were alive.
I'll tell you what it is, Big Joe said, his mouth twisting up. It's gross.
The green mass wriggled and writhed for a while, but eventually went stiff as it had stopped breathing. And then it vanished with a slurp. Damn it. Why me? Why?
Why me? Why?
A rustling came from the shrub near where Big Joe and Flaps were standing.
That Archie punk didn't even see me in here.
A plastic bottle hopped into view, huffing and cursing.
Hey, it's Mean Clean!
The coffee can and juice box cried out as one.
What the heck is he doing here?
It's like seeing a ghost, Big Joe.
Dude, Big Joe said to the newcomer.
They say that I retired ages ago.
Mean Clean finished with a grimace.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Water burbled from a sizable hole in his midsection.
Dude, look!
Big Joe pointed to Mean Clean's belly.
Yeah, so I went from big gulp to double gulp, Big D.
but the sweat was beating down Mean Clean's forehead.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, sorry. Good grief. Just look at me, all messed up. Whatever moron's responsible for this, I'm gonna find him and kick his ass.
Mean Clean grumbled. He stomped around with his bow-legged gait, glaring around as he went.
Oh, he seems really pissed off.
He did always have
a short temper, Flaps said. Even back when he was the hero of Shibuya.
We're talking about talking coffee, water bottles, and juice boxes. Once Mean Clean had indeed been the hero of Shibuya. Raining cabbages, or lettuce. It had all started about 10 years before. A strange religious group had appeared on the streets, preaching while brandishing vegetables in their hands. They seemed harmless enough at first, until their adherents started going on rampages, violently scattering vegetables all over town. The discarded vegetables quickly rotted, surfacing the whole area with the stench of garbage. The Great Compost Incident, they called it. The police ramped up their supervision of Shibuya, but because unlawful dumping of garbage was only punishable with a modest fine under Japanese law, there was no way to rein in the believers' environmental terrorism. Day by day, Shibuya descended into filth. That was when a young Mean Clean stepped up. As a potential article of trash himself, he could not stand to see a city sold so, and he was determined to do whatever he was needed to protect the town. Sending up a wild battle cry, he went about accosting the vegetable tossers one by one, picking up their strewn garbage and disposing of it properly. This is all about recycling, guys. This glorious struggle went on for 8 years. By the time it was done, Mean Clean was tattered and worn, a shadow of his former self. His friends, Big Joe and Flaps included, gathered around him as he prepared to meet his end.
Hang in there, Mean Clean, grinned Flaps. You can make it.
Yeah, you can't die, dude.
Their earnest pleas brought a faint smile to Mean Clean's face. With a weak voice, he whispered his last request.
Throw me away in the bin for reusable waste. I wanna be recycled when I go.
Big Joe and his other friends did as he asked, but the fact was that 90% of plastic bottles were burned without being recycled. Even when they did get recycled, many were made into other products such as clothing, clear plastic filing folders, or vinyl rope. The odds of Mean Clean coming back as another plastic bottle was immeasurably low. After collection, Mean Clean was pulverized, processed, and born anew as a t-shirt. It was then passed on from person to person until he met Achi at a second-hand clothing shop. When Achi hit the streets of Shibuya, Mean Clean was saddened and dismayed. He had shown the vegetable cult the light, but still Shibuya was not beautiful. If anything, it was marred by even more trash than the old days. It turned out that the religious sect was not his only enemy. Many of the people of Shibuya were themselves responsible for dirtying their once fair city. Shibuya was overwhelmed with trash. The city was rotting. But on his own, Mean Clean could do nothing. Each time he gazed out from Achi's t-shirt, he was aware with frustration of his own impotence. Flap slapped an adhesive bandage across Mean Clean's abdomen.
So, how'd you get your own form back?
The juice box asked. Mean Clean rubbed at his midsection.
It happened during the explosion.
The detonation had propelled a fragment of the minivan's windshield right toward Achi's chest. Making a split-second decision, Mean Clean slipped free of the t-shirt and took the glass shrapnel in Achi's place. Achi escaped injury without knowing what saved him and left the scene and Mean Clean behind. That explains a lot. However you look at it, this wasn't just an accident. Someone must have planted a bomb or something. Mean Clean's face showed a mix of pain and anger. Half of his mineral water had spilled out. The water was effectively Mean Clean's blood. Having lost so much in one fell swoop, he was practically dead already. It was only sheer force of will that kept him on his feet.
But the person who planted the bomb isn't the issue, Mean Clean continued. The one I'm after is whoever plotted to kill me and Achi.
Flaps and Big Joe exchanged glances.
Dude, someone's trying to kill you?
What do you mean? Asked Flaps.
Mean Clean's face grew grimmer.
There was a second explosion. Someone was after us, no question about it.
Neither Big Joe nor Flaps had any idea what Mean Clean was talking about. Had the shock of the explosion messed up their friend's head? But Mean Clean went on, his expression entirely serious. The shard of glass wasn't going for me or Achi, not first. It was going one way, then its trajectory changed mid-flight and came right at us. That couldn't have been caused by the initial explosion.
Something else exploded, just an instant later, somewhere off to the side.
Big Joe listened intently, his expression vacant. He couldn't make any sense of it all.
That doesn't necessarily mean that somebody was gunning for you, Flap said. I mean, couldn't it have just been a coincidence?
No way, said Mean Clean. Not a chance.
Who did it then?
Who did it then? Asked Big Joe, and why? That I do not know.
Flaps threw up his hands in defeat.
Still, Big Joe said Big Joe. Now that you mention it, I did feel something back then, I'm sure of it. No, someone with murder on his mind.
He peered around uneasily. I want to tell you guys something cool at the end of Mean Clean's story, by the way. Please stick around for after it. I don't care if you don't see the last two ones. Please stick around to the end because I want to tell you guys something cool. Something else. Just then, someone came lurching by. It was an empty sake jar. Well, empty of sake, anyway. He's since been planted with a bonsai. The others recognized him at once. The old fellow's name was Hooch. He was a solvently drunkard, but also a walking encyclopedia of Shibuya, widely trusted by the trash of the city.
Been drinking since noon again, old man?
Big Joe rolled his eyes.
Nah, lately I've been sticking to sweet potato soup.
Hooch informed him. It's just a weird thing. King Cheese. His excuse completely failing to serve its intended purpose.
It's done wonders for my bowels.
His toothless guffers reeked of booze.
Look, this is no laughing matter. Someone's just trying to kill me clean and... dude, you stink.
Big Joe wiggled his nose at a brand new stench.
You just let one rip, old man, didn't you, old man?
Ah, my apologies. Like I said, wonders.
What up, Cassie? As he trotted, Hooch let out another long and noisy olfactory assault.
It's been a long time, old man, Mean Clean said.
The smile disappeared from Hooch's face as his eyes slowly focused on the water bottle.
Mean Clean, I thought you went into retirement.
Yeah, I seen too much trouble.
Why are you back then?
To look for more.
Hooch's expression stiffened.
There's something you gotta hear, Mean Clean. Listen well.
But Hooch didn't get a chance to finish. With a seamy hissing sound, a long, slender something came reaching down from above. It was a green tentacle.
What in the what?
The tentacle wrapped itself around Hooch's body.
Old man!
Before Mean Clean could move in for the rescue, Hooch was lofted into the air.
That looked like just the green thing we saw early.
That looked just like the green thing we saw earlier,
Flap shouted and pointed. Hooch was receding into the distance. There was nothing Mean Clean and the others could do.
You will all die. You will become trash. You will circle back around. Who bear the seal?
The voice seemed to come out of nowhere and it vanished just as quickly. Only the scent of gas Hooch had passed lingered behind.
What the heck? What was that?
It happened all so fast. Hooch had been snatched away before Mean Clean and the others could even react. You will all die. You will become trash. That's because what the mysterious voice had said. Given the murderous vibes Big Joe had felt at the scene of the explosion and the threatening voice, this was only one logical conclusion.
There's no doubt about it, Mean Clean said. Someone out there is trying to kill me. No, trying to kill us.
He stared fixedly up at the sky. Afraid that they'd been attacked by the green thing again, Mean Clean and his companions decided to relocate. They needed a place with good visibility so they couldn't be taken unawares. Someplace open, with a view in all directions. Someplace like the roof of the building. Keep out. Alright, so, in this one, we did mention that Mean Clean is no longer on Achi's shirt. We will not, repeat, not in this stream, be checking Achi's shirt in a bunch of different scenes. But please pay attention to what I have just said. Next one we need to go to is 1640 Kano's story. But not in this stream. Kano went to South Hill in Nanpandai alone. The building takes its name from a rough translation of Nanpandai, the name of the area where it's located. Official name is South Hill Building, but since this is awkward to say, it's frequently shortened. When Kano showed up here, Mean Clean and his pals were up on the roof as well. Mean Clean. "50 minutes had passed and Hooch was carried off by the green thing. The trio had relocated to a roof where they continued to discuss their predicament. Detective Toteno, what is the meaning of this? Bring me Atomi Sawa and I'll let this girl go. Why? What do you need Atomi for? This isn't like you. It's so weird. Detective Toteno, who I know. Man, said Big Joe, this place sure is noisy. Not far away, two men wearing suits were having a big argument.
I'm sorry,
Flap stripped his head in apology.
I couldn't find any place else that was safe.
Well, I'll talk about it later.
Well, never mind, Big Joe said. Let's get back to the discussion.
Right, Flaps replied. So what I don't understand is what that voice said. Don't you think it's strange that it told us we would become trash?
Big Joe nodded.
That is strange. I mean, we're already trash. Telling us we're going to be trash doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
I know why someone's after you, though, dude, Big Joe told Mean Clean.
Think about it. You're the hero of Shibuya.
Bad guys always go after folks who are on the side of justice.
but Mean Clean remains silent, lost in thought. Lost in thought, all alone. You who circle back around, who bear the seal. You who circle back around, who bear the seal. What did that mean? Those phrases had to refer to them somehow. Big Joe. Flaps. Hooch. Mean Clean. What did the four of them have in common? Well, they're all drinks. Please, stop this!
Hurry up, bring Atomi to me.
Can't you at least tell me what's going on?
Go now, or so help me I'll shoot.
The back and forth between the two humans seemed to be approaching some sort of climax. Damn it, those guys are so loud, and I was just on the verge of a flash of insight. Oh, sorry.
Damn it. Those guys are a little loud. I was just on the flash of verge of insight.
Mean Clean gritted his teeth as he glared at the men. I like how we could just go back to Kano. Be like, by the way, guys, do you want to know Kano's story, by the way? Yeah, you can ignore what it says. Hey, is that... Big Joe cried out, pointing at the elliptical object in the sky. Is that what that thing that attacked Hooch? Mean Clean and Flaps looked where he was pointing. But right away, they shook their heads and slumped their shoulders in disappointment. That's a blimp. That's a blimp.
Nah, Flaps said. That's just a blimp.
A blimp?
Big flying advertisement, basically,
Flaps explained proudly.
They float through the skies above the city, promoting things.
Big Joe went red in the face.
If I knew that, don't act all superior just because you know stuff. I wasn't acting superior. Shut up, you wimp. Wimp, Flaps screamed. You know there were some things that just not nice to say. What's with you? Acting all high and mighty, you're just paper. Pulp, a made-up pulp, technically speaking.
As the two argued, Mean Clean's mind wandered. You who bear the seal. You who bear the seal. What in the world did it mean? I like how we could see their butts, and their butts show recycle. You felt like he was overlooking something important. A mark, a seal. What did it mean? I don't know.
Ah,
Huffed Big Joe.
don't try and act all like you're anything more than a dumb kid. Hey, you know, Big Joe, it might do you some good to learn a little more about the world if you want to get by.
The two were still at it, harder than ever now.
Alright then, smarty pants,
Big Joe pouted.
I was there blimp able to fly.
Heh heh, Flaps chuckled, a grin spreading across his face.
Allow me to explain. That blimp is filled with a large volume of gas. Specifically, a non-flammable gas called helium, a buoyant gas that makes up 0.0005% of the Earth's atmosphere, used to provide lifted balloons, blimps, and dirigibles. Dirigibles? I don't know. Hydrogen gas is more buoyant, but helium is far safer because it's not flammable. Some have attributed the 1937 Hindenburg disaster to the fact that the American-sourced helium was rejected in favor of the hydrogen gas used in doomed craft. It's less dense than air, thus causing the blimp to float. Huh? I don't got a clue what you're saying. Basically, it's filled with gas that's lighter than air.
What's all this gas stuff you're going on about?
Hey, tell me you don't know what gas is? It's what the frickin' sake bottle just started farting. Gas!
Flaps blinked in disbelief.
Helium, ethylene, a gaseous hydrocarbon composed of two carbon atoms joined by a double bond, used as a raw material for plastic, polyethylene, and the light. Lightweight and colorless, it gives off a sweet smell and is flammable. And propane, colorless flammable gas heavier than air. One of the components of natural gas and is also one product of the petroleum refining process. It's often mixed with propylene and butane, and sometimes sold as LP, liquid petroleum gas. Those are all gases that exist here on Earth. They can be lighter than air or flammable, and they're used for all kinds of things.
Big Joe appeared to be understanding less and less, his face twisted into a grimace.
Okay, Flaps said with a mock patience, I'll make it easy for you. You know what farts are, right? Well, they're gas too. Methane gassing. A colorless odor gas used as fuel for consumer and municipal applications, in addition to being found in natural gas deposits underground. It is also a byproduct of metabolic fermentation by methane-producing microorganisms, livestock, and other sources. Widely recognized as a greenhouse gas contributing to global climate change, methane's increased presence in the Earth's atmosphere has been deemed a major problem by researchers. So that's why, guys, if you fart, you're killing the atmosphere. So please don't fart. Please just plug a butt plug in it and you call it a day. If you start expanding, though, bigger and bigger because you're not eating, but because you're farting inside, then you might want to unplug. But we've got to save the planet somehow. Plug all the butts!
Well, why didn't you just say that in the first place?
Methane is a colorless transparent. Methane's a colorless transparent gas that's contained within farts, and it's happened to be very flammable. That's why you can light your farts on fire. So if you were to flick on a lighter close to one of Hooch's farts,
that sounds weird. Flap stopped abruptly with a sudden gasp of realization.
Aha! Yeah, that's it.
What's it? What's that?
Asked the coffee can.
Mean Clean, Big Joe, I figured it out.
Where's this coming from all of a sudden?
Mean Clean asked, rather taken aback. He hadn't been listening to the conversation at all.
Let's go back to the scene of the crime. I think I've solved the mystery of the second explosion.
Keep out? Yeah. the next one is Osawa at 1640. This doesn't matter. This one does not matter at all. That's where I need to go. Okay. It's my new favorite story in the game. It's interesting, that's for sure. So. Just skipping through this, we've already seen this. Also, I like how Osawa and Shizo have like fake names. That's so weird. Also, if you guys are wondering what's going on, it's essentially a side story explaining, in a more comical way, of apparently, it's essentially a thing to just recycle. Just everyone recycle, please. Save the earth, recycle. And also don't fart. That's another thing. Hey, Civil, how's it going? Mortality rate is 100%. There's Kajiwara behind him. Let's see. May not be much to go on, but I think we could put together at least one piece of our little mystery here. So, it's nothing difficult or impossible to explain. An enigma. You can see plenty of books titled The Mystery of Such and Such and The Secret of Whatever on bookstore shelves, but when you read them, you're invariably disappointed by the mystery not being that mysterious at all. But never mind that. Right now, these guys have headed for the scene of the minivan bombing, trying to solve the mystery of the second explosion. It's being clean, guys. The mystery of the second explosion had been solved. At Flaps' suggestion, the three friends had returned to the site of the minivan blast.
Right. Of course.
Flap scratched his chin and nodded as he eyed the scene.
Look, just explains what's going on here, Mean Clean demanded.
And no big words, added Big Joe. New person. Give me your boots. Sybil's not entirely new, but you still have to give Caitlin your boots. Flaps was too obviously enjoying his little detective act.
Take a look right here if you would.
Flaps pointed to the drainage ditch at the edge of the street. Big Joe peered into it.
Ugh, that reeks.
It smelled of rotten tobacco.
What you're smelling is hydrogen sulfide, a gaseous compound formed of sulfur and hydrogen. It produces an unpleasant smell that irritates the mucous membranes of the eyes and nose. It is harmful to humans. Breathing in too much can kill you. It has been designated a specifically offensive odor substance under Japanese law. Prolonged inhalation can damage the olfactory senses with the risk of permanent loss of smell.
So you guys will learn about chemistry too.
It's produced and released alongside methane by food waste.
Can I just say, I feel like I have a really good, like, nerdy soda voice. Not gonna lie.
What about it? This place doesn't usually smell anywhere that it is bad, Flaps explained, but for some reason today it's really foul. Which means, you're still following me, right?
The others just stood there, staring at him blankly.
Right, anyway, along with a large volume of hydrogen sulfide, there's also a large volume of methane gas rising up from this ditch. So what happens, you see, is that flammable methane from here was ignited by flames from the minivan explosion, triggering a second explosion.
The others just stood there, staring at him even more blankly.
Now you're probably wondering how it is that I realized all this.
Hold on a minute, Mean Clean grumbled. If what you say is true, then it was just a coincidence that piece of windshield glass came flying at me and Archie?
Yes, Flap said meekly. That's right.
But I tell you, I could sense it. Somebody was trying to kill me. If it was just a coincidence, how do you explain that?
Yeah, Big Joe chimed in.
See, that was bugging me about all this too. You can't just go around saying stuff like that, Flaps.
No, but I mean...
Flap's voice faltered. He didn't have a good answer for the Mean Clean's question. For a while, the three of them stood in thought, then Mean Clean broke the silence.
So, this may sound ridiculous, but here's what I think, he began. You got Flaps' deduction, those murderous vibes I felt. We need to think of a way to make those two things fit together somehow. If the methane gas were capable of thought...
If the methane gas was capable of thought, it was an idea straight out of left field. Flaps and Big Joe were dumbstruck.
So you figured it out.
What the heck is going on with Flaps? Yo, Flaps' face is, What, Ababa, how's it going? Flaps' face is interesting. Hold on. Have to do that. It was the voice they heard before. This time it sounded very close by indeed, yet they could see nobody else.
It was the one who controlled I was the one who controlled the blast to send that gas shot hurtling towards you. But here you are, still alive.
Where are you? Mean Clean shouted.
Where are you? I'm Batman. You circle back around and bear the seal. You'll become trash.
The voice repeated its eerie mantra.
Mean Clean, over here!
Flap shouted, pointing at the drainage ditch. Crescent-shaped eyes peered out from beneath the sewer grating. A small green mass was lurking there, wreathed in its own foul stench. From the way it wriggled silently about, there was no doubt about it. This was the thing that had snatched up Hooch in its tendril.
Where's Hooch? Mean Clean demanded. That doddering old fool? He made a fine meal for my prime mess.
A moment later, something launched toward them from the drainage ditch.
Holy shit, he is dead!
It rolled to a stop on the pavement. Only then they realized it was Hooch, or what was left of him.
Oh man, what happened to you?
Most of his jaw was gone. The roots of the plant had been potted within him, now barely managed to cling to his face, holding it together. It was on death's door. Mean Clean stared daggers at the green thing.
Why are you after me? No, after us! Do you ask yourself why you eat before each and every meal?
The thing demanded, its tone dismissive.
Eating what one's wishes to eat is only natural. Those who circle back around, those who bear the seal, they're a little more than a nuisance, as far as our plan is concerned. Plan? To cover this world in garbage, to consume more and more, producing ever more waste. We'll forge a world where the words reduce, reuse, recycle are heard no more. Even these so-called reusables will be discarded, become trash in the truest sense. Will become one of us. Be thankful.
The green thing snickered and flashed a set of jagged teeth.
Resist all you like. You're doomed to fail.
Hello, Pink. Welcome to the stream.
As long as rotten food waste exists, we'll proliferate and grow.
Holy crap. The green thing slowly began to emerge from the sewer drain.
My prime mass is steadily expanding, devouring the trash strewn about the city. Eventually, we shall engulf all of Shibuya, enveloping it in death and decay.
Big Joe and Flaps drew in closer to Mean Clean. He spread his arms wide to shield them. Colorless blood dripped from his hastily bandaged injury. The rotten thing laughed.
You think you could fight me in your condition? You could barely stand.
The thing was right. Once he had lost all of his water, Mean Clean would die. If he tried to fight this monstrosity now, he would never survive.
You think it would make a tasty snack? Time to die.
With that, the green thing rushed toward Mean Clean and his friends. Flap shrieked. Suddenly, with a sound like a watermelon splitting, the green mass disintegrated into tiny bits. In the blink of an eye, the bits had all dispersed in the air. Whoa, Big Joe blurted. What the heck would just happen? His voice was trembling. He looked around in bewilderment.
Juice. Juice, is that you?
Mean Clean called out. Whoa! Guy with a sniper. What the hell? It's something with a sniper. It's a broken bottle with a sniper. Holy shit. On the rooftop of the building across the way, something glimmered in the afternoon light. The saw bottle body clad in a trench coat. Thick eyebrows jutted above a pair of sunglasses. Mean Clean knew the figure well. Long ago, he had aided in the fight against the vegetable cult.
Juice Malone, the legendary sniper.
Juice's sunglasses flashed in the light once more, then he whirled around and vanished from sight. That's not a reference to Post Malone. This game came out in 2008, guys.
Oh man!
Mean Clean and the others rushed over to Hooch's fallen form on the pavement.
Hey, hang in there!
Mean Clean, is that you?
Hooch's voice was dry and raspy.
I'm done for.
Don't say that! It's alright.
It's alright. I know my body better than anyone.
They gazed at him solemnly. It was remarkable that he had lived this long, given his grievous injuries.
Mean Clean, there is something I need to tell you.
Hooch struggled to get the words out. Mean Clean nodded.
I've been wondering what you were going to say earlier.
Hooch nodded weakly.
Now listen well, Mean Clean. You...
Mean Clean held his breath.
There's a hole in your stomach.
Oh shit! We're gonna die! There's a hole in our stomach! There's a hole in my heart! I love you, Hooch! It's so... Oh, you're talking about me bleeding out with water. That's fine. Once it rains, we'll be fine.
Yeah?
Which means there's a hole in your stomach.
I know that. And?
No, I just mean... What I'm trying to say is... You have a hole in your stomach.
Keep out? Is this about to be a keep out? A long silence fell. No. Hooch quietly breathed his last. Keep out? No, never mind. In the aftermath of Hooch's passing, Mean Clean and the others decided that they had to take action. If the prime mass of the green monstrosity was growing by eating trash around the city, they'd just have to gather up as much trash as possible. They should halt the thing's growth, reducing the threat it posed to everyone. They would need a safe place to dispose of the trash once they collected it, but they didn't have time to think that far ahead right now. At the moment, they just needed to pick up as much trash as they could. Yoyogi, Harajuku, Ibusu, Daikanyama, Shoto. Then, in the midst of their trash collecting expedition, Big Joe suddenly halted in his tracks. "Dude, this place is a cafe, right?" He cried out in excitement, staring at the nearby building. "It's something I've always wanted to do at a cafe." "What are you on about?"
What are you on about now? Flaps out on a weary sigh. I don't think this is really the time.
"Oh, shut up, you! I was just talking about dude here."
Big Joe turned to Mean Clean, his eyes pleading.
"Come on, dude, please! Just just 3 minutes, that's all I need."
Mean Clean shrugged.
"Knock yourself out."
Once inside the cafe, Big Joe took a deep breath. He couldn't quite hide his nerves. He looked over at a waitress busily busting about.
"Excuse me, one Excuse me, one coffee, please."
Big Joe grinned at the others. Man, I've always wanted to try coffee that wasn't from a can. The three waited patiently, but nobody brought Joker's coffee. They sure are taking their sweet time, Mean Clean grumbled.
Yeah, this has been taking far too long, Flap said. Maybe she didn't hear your order?
He peered at the waitress dubiously.
"Guess you don't have much of a choice," said Mean Clean. "You have to make do with that, Big Joe." "Huh?"
Mean Clean pointed to a pair of coffee cups that had been set out on a nearby table. A middle-aged man in glasses sat there. He was scowling, probably in a nasty mood. The other seat was empty. It looked like whoever had been sitting there had stepped away for now. The man was engrossed with his laptop, so Big Joe seized the opportunity, hopping up on the table and bringing one of the cups to his lips. It's Minorikawa! A bitter, dry taste filled his mouth. The flavor was nothing at all like that of a canned coffee. He drained the cup in a single gulp and scampered back down from the table.
"How was it?" Mean Clean asked.
Big Joe had a distant look in his eyes.
"So that's what real coffee tastes like," he said.
Just then a woman returned to the empty seat, staring in consternation at her cup. Dad, did you drink my coffee?
Of course not."
Well, then why is my cup empty?
"What?"
The middle-aged man looked stunned. Oh, it's Shizo and Rumi. Honestly, first you used my cell phone without asking, now you're drinking my coffee? What are you trying to pull, Dad? Hey, hold on. Yes, I used your phone, but I did not drink your coffee. As the two launched into an argument, Mean Clean and his friends hurried on to the cafe. We still didn't get to see her face! The trio split up in order to gather litter from all across Shibuya. Garbage was lying all over the place, there wasn't much need to search. Half-eaten slices of bread, half-drunk bottles of juice, banana peels, apple cores, cup noodles, hamburgers, ice cream, gum, candy wrappers, fried chicken, fish bones, everywhere they looked, there was enough to fill a trash bag in a blink of an eye. There seemed to be no end to it. Increasingly disheartened, Mean Clean, Big Joe, and Flaps continued their desperate mission. Mean Clean was steadily losing water, but he couldn't let himself worry about that now. They had to stop the evil green thing. They had to do whatever it took to keep its prime mass from growing. Deep in the very core of his being, Mean Clean knew this to be true. Hooch was dead. Mean Clean was close to death himself, but something deeper than sadness or anger drove him forward. Back when he battled the vegetable cult, Mean Clean had what you would call a sense of justice. Once the fighting was finished, the state of Shibuya had left him feeling empty. After that, there had been nothing but a dark hole in Mean Clean's heart. Now he finally felt like he might be able to fill that hole. No, he had to fill it. He didn't want to ever feel that emptiness again. Center Guy, Spanish Hill, Fire Street, the Moyai statue, Hashiko, Mishidori, plenty of cigarette butts and spat out wads of gum lined the shoulder of the road.
This is just plain filthy.
Mean Clean and the others continued their trash collection. Excuse me. And I can't see his keep out. Alright, we got one more to do. Okay, cool. Who's ready for? Hey, Benny, how's it going? This is the final one, guys, for this scenario. All we have to do is look for side of the road. So if we were rendered brain dead. Brain dead, brain dead. Had a good idea the other day. Start a new band and we'll learn to play in power. Do 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 do. I'm brain dead. Do 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 do. Take my blood. Da 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 da. Save her life. Do 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 do. Archie is do 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 do. Hit Tommy's boyfriend. Do 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 do. Brain power. Do do do. Brain power. Brain power. Am I getting Animal Crossing? Benny, I've been streaming that game for the past 4 days. Plus, I have 2 copies of the game. So, yes. Dachi. There's canon, not canon, but totally canon, but not canon. I don't know what I like better. I don't know if I like Alphard's look here or if I like Alphard's anime look. I think both are great. Why do I have 2 copies? Because I have a physical copy for off-stream and then a digital copy for on-stream. Because I also have 2 Switches. Oh, is he really not on Nachi's shirt? So, I didn't notice. We are going to be playing Animal Crossing after this, but first, best game. You guys dating? The answer is no. So know make yourself important. Probably people out there you can see who's trouble. All I'm looking for is side of the road. Stream kept buffering. What's an idiot do? Yeah, he was an idiot. Good old Jack Stanley, but Jack is a pretty cool character. I like good old Jack Stanley. Gridlock again. All the best to rock array. Pulled over to the side of the road. There we go. Specifically the shoulder that runs along either side of the traveled portion of the roadway. A place where trash tossed out the windows of moving cars tend to accumulate. Tossing cigarette butts and empty cans out into the street can potentially hurt people. It definitely makes a mess. Please don't litter. It'll just make Mean Clean angry. Let's go. The final scene of Mean Clean. Who's ready for the ultimate fight against methane? They had to gather up trash before the malevolent Prime Mask could get to it. Mean Clean made his way down into the section of the Mejidori and then ran along the Shibuya River, picking up garbage as he went. Plenty of cigarette butts and spat out wads of gum lined the shoulder of the road. First things first, I'm gonna punch him right in the face. Then we can have ourselves a chat. Mean Clean knew that voice well. It was Achi. Oh, it was Achi. The girl called Hitomi was by his side. There was some tall foreigner in sunglasses. Don't let your emotions get out of control. Your father might be one of the key... Don't let your emotions get out of control. Your father might be one of the key players in this case. I keep changing his voice, I'm sorry. The man with the sunglasses spoke with cool authority. Achi gave him a steely-eyed glare. The situation looked pretty tense. Mean Clean called out to Achi as he headed on his way. I'm not sure what's going on, but hang in there, buddy. You and me both. Look at that Achi face. Don't fart humans, cause pollution. Yeah, butt plugs for all. But now half an hour passed since the friends had started picking up trash. Somehow they managed to gather up all the trash around the city. Holy shit. In 30 minutes, they cleaned up the entire city. And I can't even throw away a frickin' monster can. I suck. Together, they've amassed a veritable mountain of garbage bags. That's it. No more trash, Mean Clean said. He didn't look happy, though. Neither did Big Joe or Flaps. But that can't be, Flaps murmured. This is odd. Too odd. Big Joe clenched his hand in a fist. He was right. It was odd. They gathered a tremendous amount of trash, but still was clearly not enough. There was simply no way that this could be all the trash in Shibuya. Mean Clean knew that painfully well from what he'd seen of the city with Achi every day. Were people becoming more mannered and littering less like they used to? Had Achi's daily cleanup efforts actually borne fruit? An all too optimistic fantasy, but it was a nice thought. There was only one possible conclusion. They were too late. Everything they'd done had been in vain. Flaps wasn't able to hide his fear of the threat that's implied. All Big Joe could do was sigh. We're just gonna have to do it, Mean Clean said. Do it? Do what? Big Joe sounded almost too worried to ask. Isn't it obvious? We go and find that Prime Mask thing would take it out. But that thing we'd met earlier said it would just keep coming back. It doesn't even matter what we try to do. There's no point to it. Mean Clean smacked Big Joe upside the head. You don't? You're going to give up before you even tried? But no buts. Only butt plugs. Besides, I don't see you coming up with a better plan. Big Joe sulked and turned away.
Plan or no plan, how are we supposed to fight an opponent that won't even show itself?
Flaps asked. Juicebox had a point. Mean Clean wasn't sure what to say to that. The enemy was in hiding, and they couldn't fight what they couldn't see. Mean Clean was getting more and more riled up, with no target for his fury. God, this is such a waste of anger energy, he railed. There's no point to it now, when there's nothing I can do with it. He stamped on the ground in a huff. Uh-oh. The heap of trash began to collapse before their eyes. Several dozen green feelers thrust up from the underground. The group split open. The ground split open, the bags of trash vanished into the earth. Silence. The place where the trash had been lay empty, as if nothing had ever been there in the first place. The trio had no words. Then the booming thunderclap split the blue sky above them. A massive black shadow loomed overhead.
Whoa, is that the thing for real?
Is that thing for real? Big Joe stared up at the sky in horror. It's a big monster with the sweatband. It's a big monster with the sweatband. Oh shit, man. He's got a sweatband. He's a master villain. Metabon, the junk colony. The monstrosity drifted between the buildings. It was huge, too huge. As it watched, it sloped up the green mass from underground, continuing to grow. There seemed to be no limit to its size. A hand to this dude, Big Joe told Mean Clean. He adopted a fighting stance. Flaps, take him and get out of here.
No, I can't let you do this.
That thing may be big, but it's all soft and squishy. Don't worry, I made of metal. Big Joe leaped high into the air, launching himself at the monstrosity. The instant he impacted the mass, he was sucked right in. There was a metallic squirk as his body was crushed. Big Joe! Mean Clean and Flaps soared up into the air, weaving to avoid the monstrosity's extended tendrils. Are they flying? Are they flying right now? Now that they were on eye level with the thing, it seemed even bigger than before. This was not an opponent that they could fight by recklessly rushing in headlong. Nick, Mean Clean's side screamed in agony. There was almost no water left inside him. He had barely any strength in his arms, and his mind was foggy. At this rate, there was nothing he could do but stop himself from being devoured like Big Joe and Hooch.
Alright, let's light this thing up,
Flaps cried. Where the hell did he get a lighter? He just straight up gets a lighter! In his hands was a cigarette lighter, the flame already lit.
I picked this up while we were gathering trash, he said. If this monster's made out of food scraps and methane gas, if we get a flame near him, he should explode.
Flaps was already charging toward the beast, the lighter held out in front of him.
Die, you son of a bitch!
Flaps, don't do it!
Mean Clean hurried to stop him.
Don't get any closer to that thing!
Flaps hesitated in midair, looking back at Mean Clean with a frown.
But this is the only way! This thing already took down Hooch and Big Joe! And look at the condition they're in! What else can we possibly do?
But this is exactly what he wants.
Flaps' eyes went wide.
Huh?
I finally understand what it meant. Eventually we shall engulf the entire city, enveloping it in death and decay. Remember that?
Mean Clean looked down at the city below, at the houses and office buildings that passed by and vehicles coming and going.
It wants to slurp up tons of trash, inflate itself to a giant size, and cause a massive explosion. Once that happens, the city will be a disaster. That's what it meant by enveloping everything in death and decay.
No!
Trust me, put out that light. We can't risk blowing up the city.
Flaps paused and thought for a few moments, then took his finger off the button on the lighter. With a sudden whoosh, one of the creature's long tendrils darted out and snatched up him.
Mean Clean!
The juice box struggled and croaked the words out. A moment later, he was absorbed in the slimy green tentacle. Well, Flaps is dead too, guys. Rest in peace, Big Joe, Flaps, and Hooch. Mean Clean clenched his teeth and rushed toward the monster. Rage filled him. His body moved on its own accord. He unleashed a flurry of punches and kicks, but the creature easily batted them aside. He felt certain that if he tried to grab hold of a tendril, he'd immediately be engulfed by within a squishy mass. The thing seemed to be toying with him as a cat's toys with a mouse. Mean Clean retreated a short distance and squared off with the monstrosity once more. It was a hopeless fight. No matter how many times he attacked the thing, his strikes had no effect. The thing was going to kill him. It was only a matter of time. Wasn't there something, anything he could do? As he teetered on the brink of consciousness, Mean Clean's mind raced. The creature slowly stretched its tendrils toward him, heading his end. A sudden gunshot split the air. The monstrosity froze in its tracks.
Juice!
On the roof of the building below, Mean Clean spotted Juice Malone, down on one knee, sniper rifle at the ready. Juice fired off 3 shots in rapid succession. All 3 struck the monstrosity right between the eyes, mere millimeters apart. Mean Clean felt a brief ray of hope, but it turned quickly to despair. The creature calmly brought a tendril up to its face and scratched itself between its oozing eyebrows. The bullets had been no more than mosquito bites to this thing. The monstrosity fixed its gaze on Juice, and its huge maw bent into an unnerving grin. It extended one of its finger tendrils and gave the end a sharp flick, sending the burblish tip flying toward him. Then it quickly launched 3 more blobs, gleefully mimicking Juice's attack. Juice readied his weapon again and fired the incoming projectiles, but the bullets vanished into the slime to no effect.
Juice!
When the green globules struck Juice dead on, and the faint sound of shattering glass tinkled through the air. Well, rest in peace, Juice! Everyone's dying, guys! You guys thought we were gonna die? Nope, everyone's dying right now. The monstrosity chortled malevolently, then lashed out with its tendrils. Ugh! A direct hit. Mean Clean was sent hurtling into a gap between two buildings. A breaker space between two things. We are born amidst gaps. We live our lives in them, and our lives fluctuate because of them. Gaps between ideals and reality. Gaps between good and evil. Gaps between hope and despair. Gaps between logic and instinct. Gaps between love and hate. Gaps between truth and lies. Gaps between the past and the future. Gaps between light and darkness. Gaps between order and chaos. Platoon. Gaps between oneself and others. Gaps between dreams versus reality. Gaps between life and death. Gaps between coincidence and the inevitable. Gaps. Also, gripping posture. Damn it! Mustering the last of his strength, he launched himself back up to the air. Another tentacle strike was already coming his way. The creature had anticipated his return. Oh crap, Mean Clean thought, but it was too late to avoid the blow. Ah! The monster's mighty swat slammed him against the ground. The bandage on his belly came loose, and the remaining water inside him began to dribble out. Soon he would lose the last of it. Rest in peace, Mean Clean. Fighting breeds hatred, and hatred only breeds more fighting. I'm not someone who is used to incurring the enmity of others. What are you doing, Sachio? Go! What's the matter? Come at me. Come on, hurry up and die already. As his mind grew ever more hazy, Mean Clean heard a series of strange voices. Lines of dialogue from Au revoir, a performance by the theater troupe The Wandering Angels. Right now, the protagonist Ryu is facing off against multiple assassins in the initial sword fighting scene. Where am I? What is this place? Theater Ace, located in Sakuragaoka. Assassin with an Ito, accent number 1, played by Yukio Tozuka, was supposed to be cut down by one stroke by Ryu's blade, but since that assassin continued to writhe around on the ground after he was struck, Ryu had no choice but to continue slashing away at him. The line, "Come on, hurry up and die already," was spoken by the actor who plays Ryu, complaining once he was backstage. A wave of chill mist wafted over him. Carbon dioxide from the dry ice machine set up backstage. The machine is broken and continues to produce and spit out more and more dry ice. What was he doing here? He couldn't die in a place like this. Go! Spurred on by the voices, Mean Clean got to his feet. He's listening to the theater troupe, and he's alive. Not yet. I'm not dying like this. I'm not dying like this. He's got dry ice in him! He's got dry ice! Mean Clean wobbled his way back into the air. He was battered from head to toe. The odds were overwhelmingly against him, yet a hint of smile came to his face. I will do this, just wait and see. The wave of cold from earlier had caused clumps of whittled ice to solidify inside of him. Face me, he called out to the green monstrosity. I'm gonna kick your ass. The creature let out a roar and moved to attack. Foul tentacles lashed at Mean Clean from every side. He chose one of them and launched himself bodily toward it. Run! The violent impact knocked him senseless and sent him sailing into the direction of Shibuya Station. Apparently, Baba. Apparently. Who would have thought it was that important? Monstrosity hovered above the city, basking in the light of victory. Now no one was left to stop it from turning Shibuya into a wasteland. It spotted some power lines and reached out a feeler toward them. It was ready to blow itself up. Shortening out the lines would set up a shower of sparks. It would only take one of those sparks for the creature to turn Shibuya into a blasted ruin. Slowly, the monstrosity extended its tendril. Its fingertips had mere centimeters further to go. Let's go, Mean Clean! Then the dirty waters of the Shibuya River were split in two, and something came rocketing up from one within. This ain't over yet! It was Mean Clean. River water filled him to the brim, and he surged with vitality. He pointed sharply at the monstrosity. You didn't realize what I was doing, did you? I wanted you to knock me into the river. The creature glared at him balefully. He pulled back the tendril that was reaching from the power lines and swung it like a whip at Mean Clean. Juice! Mean Clean shouted as he nimbly dodged the attack. Juice! If you're still alive, answer me! Excuse me. Almost at once, a gunshot rang out. Yo, we still alive! Juice was down there on the rooftop below. Green ooze had consumed part of him, but he somehow managed to cling to life. Shoot! Mean Clean shouted. Shoot me! Juice raised an uncomprehending eyebrow. Do it! Shoot me! It's the only way! Juice hesitated for a moment, then lined up Mean Clean in his crosshairs. Grr! The bullet punctured Mean Clean's body. More! Shoot me more! He strained and stiffened in order to keep the bullet locked in place inside him. Shoot me, Juice! He winced with pain as several more bullets struck him in the belly and back. It took all of his might to keep them from blasting right through him. Alright, preparation's complete. Mean Clean lunged from the monstrosity. The monstrosity bellowed, its toothy maw yawning wide. Jah! Mean Clean stared right into the thing's open mouth and was swallowed whole. What is he trying to do? What's with the bullets? A moment later, the monstrosity ruptured, opened with a stupendous sound. Its scattered remains dissolved into mist and vanished into the air. That hadn't been an explosion. Its inside has simply swollen and expanded until they couldn't be contained. I'm so confused. What happened there? Oh, there they go. They're alive, guys! Big Joe and Flaps tumbled to the ground.
Oh, wow.
Huh? Are we?
Are we alive?
The two looked around in bewilderment, trying to process what had happened. Then Mean Clean clattered down beside them. Oh, he's dead.
Clean!
Big Joe and Flaps rushed to his side. Half of his body was gone. Yeah, I could see with that. Crack zigzagged across what was left of him. Flaps gently set a hand against Mean Clean's body.
He's so cold.
He's dying!
Big Joe's mouth hung open aghast.
Hey now, don't go holding a funeral for me just yet.
Mean Clean's voice was a little more than a whisper. He couldn't even muster his usual triumphant grin. He had to struggle just to keep breathing.
I kicked that thing's ass.
Mean Clean looked up at the sky. Big Joe and Flaps followed his gaze. There was nothing there but the bright blue sky. The blue sky of a lovely spring day. This was amazing. That was amazing, Big Joe said between sobs.
I knew you could do it, Mean Clean.
But how?
Flaps asked, wiping away the tears in his eyes.
Dry ice.
Dry ice.
Yeah, I saw something on the news once about an accident caused by a plastic bottle bursting after it was filled with dry ice and water. Decided to put that to practical use.
Wow, I get it, Flaps said. Now that you mention it, when dry ice sublimates, it expands to a volume over 700 times its solid size. Mean Clean, you could hold enough dry ice to expand to a volume of over 350 liters.
Flaps nodded, understanding, still crying.
Then, when you had to shoot you kept the compressed gas inside your body and let the bullets blast out from inside you all at once.
That's amazing, dude. But also way too reckless, said Big Joe. Yeah, I guess. Desperate measures for a desperate situation. Don't try this at home, kids.
There was a distant look in Mean Clean's eyes.
Big Joe, Flaps, please toss me into the bin.
Big Joe and Flaps exchanged glances.
Reusable waste.
Reusable waste, said Flaps solemnly. You got it.
Thanks.
Big Joe picked up Mean Clean and walked over to the trash bin.
So long, dude. I'll send you on your way. Wait.
Mean Clean weakly held up a hand.
Still haven't taken my cap off. Always take the cap off the plastic bottle before throwing it away.
True words, guys. True words. Everyone knows that.
But dude.
But both Joe and Flaps already realized. If the cap were removed, the fine cracks running through Mean Clean's bottle body would break it apart completely. The cap was the only thing keeping their friend together.
Don't be ridiculous. No matter how many times I die, I'll keep coming back. I'm not your run-of-the-mill plastic bottle.
Mean Clean fixed Big Joe and Flaps with an earnest stare.
As long as the city isn't clean, monsters like that when we front will keep turning up. Until I return, you guys are going to have to make do somehow. Got it?
I got it, dude, Big Joe said, and gently he unscrewed Mean Clean's cap.
Rest in peace, Mean Clean. Single manly tear.
A moment passed, then Mean Clean's body burst into pieces. Shards of plastic glittered in the air like diamond dust. They were caught up by a gentle breeze, and Mean Clean was gone.
Goodbye, dude. You're the cleanest.
Orange-colored tears stained Flaps' cheeks.
No,
Big Joe's face hardened.
This isn't goodbye. It's until we meet again.
He clutched the bottle cap tightly in his hand. He squeezed it again and again, in the hope that his wishes might be heard. Don't understand anything? Pretty much that was teaching everyone to please recycle, please clean up the planet, and Mean Clean's a badass. Hey, look at it, it's coffee and it's Flaps. It's Big Joe and Flaps. There's another face to this city. When you casually gaze at the sights, amidst all of the normal, everyday things, there are stories that nobody has told. Now some of them have been heard at last. Today has been a day for many stories, which I hope will live on in someone's heart. Until the day we meet again. Heikelmarl. I don't know who Heikelmarl is, but I think that's probably a writer or producer for the game. But now, the key thing here, pay attention to the backgrounds, guys. Because this, according to what I have right here, these are behind the scenes of the cast. It's April 6th. We got Hitomi Achi. Shooting's beginning. Oh, we got Kitama. Poor thing, or we made her cry. Aw. Must be nice to be in charge of this place. Nasawa's in charge of this place. Hey, that's what we see in the documentary. Nasawa's like amazing. Definitely Einstein though. Yeah, that's the Easter egg. That's Kitajima, the scenario director. And guys, they actually did act all of these out. This is possibly going to be copywritten. We'll see. Just thought it was pretty cool in game, but also, oh, look at Suzude! Oh, got dirt on herself. The last. Oh, that's Rumi! That's Rumi! You guys, that's actually Rumi's face. Aww. Hey, Minorikawa. We have to see Rumi's face for the first time. She actually speaks. Oh. Oh, they can't show that. Trademark issues require us to blur this out. This is Teteno though. Oh, look at this Canon. Oh, Canon does speak English. You are my son. And yeah, Hitomi and Maria are the same, by the way. Our three lovely sisters. Yeah.
You want me to be funny for the camera, do you now? I love to be funny for the camera.
He's British? Dude, Jack Stanley's British! Jack Stanley's British! Jack Stanley's fucking British! I didn't know that! Oh, like playing Ding Dong Village. This is so adorable! It's creepy. But. Oh my gosh. But. Everyone's hitting the chicken. Poor chicken. Oh, by the way, this is cool. When they're doing the explosion scene, this was in the documentary when they're doing the explosion scene. Oh, Kano being the farmer. Would bap the chicken? Same. Why does it look so good on you? Kano was made. Also, yeah, Yanagashita does actually have an afro. Like, oh, gets bonked by the trophy. Hachi's imagination is very retro. Is this what's in Hachi's head? Hachi's subconscious is brutal. To shoot too. 5 hours for this. This is so adorable. This is so adorable. Also, Achi's actor is, yeah, and it took them 60 days exactly to complete shooting and everything. Something cool is like all their actors, Achi's actor has grown a lot and is actually like such, when you're watching the documentary, like he's so like, quite see you again. Oh my gosh, this game is so good. Oh my gosh, the behind the scenes footage too. I want to like meet them. Also, yes, the same actress who plays Hitomi does play Maria as well. I just want to like meet them all. Like I want to learn Japanese. Just the golden bookmark. Mean clean. We got that golden bookmark. The 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. Mean clean door added to the game. So yeah, bonus content. This is just mean clean story, or mean clean door. How to play. Walk past doors in the direction of the doorknob to open them. Then try to leave the treasure monsters inside before locking them in. How many monsters can you seal away in 5 minutes? Jump. You can move and jump at the same time to perform a diagonal jump. Press start to jump. Mean clean can climb up and down both ladders and stairs and can climb on nets though. Would you call available monsters? Some monsters increase by 1. Spending on monsters like this strictly mask or leaving the door part way open after monster enter or part the other monsters from entering. You need to line up multiple monsters. What the hell is this game? We cut out again. Are we still live though? Are we still live? This is an amazing game. I know what this game is. I know what this game is. This game is interesting. That again. It's interesting. However, is Chizusuhu? Is YouTube? Okay. So that's like a mini, an extra mini game. However, that's actually supposed to tell you the... Oh, that tells you the scenario. Okay. Everyone, turn up your volume really loud, if you can. But yeah, you can also press this now, and you can see... Is, I believe, maybe Mean Clean Story? No, you still have to look through things. Alright. Going to Premiere? Volume to 100? Yeah. We got 2 more scenarios, guys. Got 2 more scenarios. These both are going to be pretty quick. It's 1735? Yeah. Alright. Listen. This might be a jump scare too, by the way. I'm just letting you guys know. We want to hit Nakamura, because that's what it says in the thing. Nakamura. No, but I feel like we are on the right track. Oh, whoops. Whoops, I fucked up already. Hold on, I fucked up. So this is something else. So we hit Takahashi. That's not it. Nakamura. You'll have to forgive me. This is the only way I can keep them from watching. They are wary of me. It's not as easy as it used to be to sneak a message into a game. That's why I've used this transmission program to send my message to you. Surely they won't notice this. My name is Koichi Nakamura, chairman of Spike Chunsoft. I've given publicity interviews for our new game, so perhaps you are familiar with my face. But the Koichi Nakamura that you have seen is not actually me. He is one of them, a skillful impersonator who has taken my place. Yet it seems that my captors are fickle masters. My only form of entertainment in this room is the TV. And just the other day, I saw my other self on the screen, and he looked subtly different than the other one I've seen before. The original Koichi Nakamura, who replaced me, seems to have been nothing more than a disposable pawn to them as well. I've been locked up in this tiny room for a long time. Telling the world about my captivity seemed impossible, and I had long since given up. But now, a chance has suddenly come my way. The other day, the fake me came to my prison room with a request. He told me to remake my old game, Door, so that a version could be included in this game. He told me that I had 1 hour. I tried to tell him that this was impossible, but he wouldn't listen. He just said, "I'll be back in 1 hour," and departed. I'm sure he intended to torture me mercilessly if I didn't meet my deadline. I had no choice. I had to do it. I dragged a dusty PC from the corner of the room and started coding as hard as I could. Half-hour later, I had managed to finish. I gave the code a test play. I had managed to reproduce all the fine details, but it worked, so that was good. Still, not having played Door in so long, I'd forgotten how difficult it could be. I spent about 20 minutes struggling with it, and then I got an idea. I could hide my message in the code of this program. If all I did was hide it, though, they were certain to find it. In order to keep them from spotting it, I decided to include this transmission program. This should protect my secret. Just now, I received a signal from your gaming device. I am writing this message in reply. Quite frankly, I didn't expect to succeed, but I did. My fingertips are trembling with anticipation. These transmissions are my only means of contacting the outside world. I'm begging you, please, if you can, keep this game close at hand at all times, and every so often, boot the game up and check to make sure my messages are still live. A day will come where I am able to reveal their plan, but until that day comes, please, don't let this game out of your possession. You have my deepest thanks for playing. Koichi Nakamura. It's a cry for help, is what the achievement is. However, we have one more left. Also Bork. He's barking outside. Pulling over. Are you guys ready for the last scenario in the game? And this one's a doozy. Literally, it doesn't tell you guys. It really does not tell you. You go to mean clean scenario. This is literally reading this. We have to go all the way down. We have to hold this all the way down. So you hold it down on the D-pad, and we go all the way down. Hike Marl. Then, scroll back up until reread pops up again. So there's reread at the bottom, right here. Big Joe and Flaps tumble to the ground. Okay. So this one is just spam to the end. So now we have to go spam all the way to the end of this. We can autoplay it, but I mean we're gonna spam this. Spam the A button. Oh, poor Mean Clean, he's dead. How the hell were people to find this normally? Oh my gosh, the Japanese one's even crazier. This is just the English one. This is just the way to get it in the English version. The Japanese one is even crazier. I'm gonna tell you guys the Japanese one after this. How the hell were you guys supposed to figure this out? How in the fuck are you supposed to figure this out? I'd like to know who first figured this out, without looking it up. This is fucking insane. I would have never been able to find this. I straight up would never have been able to find this without a guide. This game is so fucking amazing. No, the Japanese version, you were not supposed to find it on accident. You absolutely were not supposed to find that on accident. There was no possible way. This one, sure, you would have to play it again. You essentially just play the entire game again and probably find it. But Japanese version? No. The Japanese version, holy crap. Okay, so I'm being told though on here that the last message, the one that Hike Marl says, is going to be different. Squeeze it again and again in the hope that his wishes might be heard. Alright. This should be a different thing that we're seeing. Now the curtain falls after a very long day. And that all is right with the city at last. For now, there are no more tales left to tell of the people of Shibuya. Their crossing paths and intertwining fates, having painted so many pictures for you already. If you ever want to see what they are up to, however, come on down to Shibuya again, wherever you might like. Hitting it on the D-pad. I've slipped out of the room where they here keep me and are currently typing on the keyboard at the programmer's desk. I think he'll be back soon, so I need to be brief. This may sound like it's nonsense, but please bear with me. I believe that he has included a message in this game, passing it off as truth. A message in which he claims to be the victim. This message can only be viewed after you played the game over and over. Upon reading it and feeling the sense of accomplishment that comes with it, you may be inclined to simply believe what it says. But if it is all lies, it is a cunning trap set by Koichi Nakamura to deceive you. Do not be fooled. I got wind of his plan a long while back. It was summer, several years ago. He had a hidden message in a game he developed back at the time. Later, while drinking with a friend who plays games, the subject of the secret message came up. My friend had played the game and had seen the message, but he said there was no phone number included. The message I saw, however, definitely included a phone number. I thought it was strange, but I was curious enough to give it a call. A man answered. He spoke in a low, hushed voice. Mr. Kitajima, he said. Could you please come here right away, he asked. I headed for a designated location, which was in Shibuya ward of Tokyo. Then, as I stood alone in the darkness of a side street, I was grabbed from behind, blindfolded, and abducted. I was struck out in the back of the head with a blunt instrument and immediately lost consciousness. When I woke up, I was in a tiny room with no windows. 2 other people were there. Takemaru Abiko and Kanoku Nasu, writers for the game. They had both been kidnapped the same way, locked up and forced to write game scenarios. Nasu had been brought in relatively recently, but it sounded like Abiko had been locked in there for over a decade. Right now, the people operating as myself, Abiko, and Nasu are not the real us, but fake employees by Nakamura. The details of my imprisonment naturally began to slip into my writing. I cut to a trace here. It was late at night, and I had to come close to finish up writing the scenarios for this game. I could hear voices coming from the room next to mine, the voice of Nakamura and his underlings. I couldn't believe what I heard. They said they had programmed the game to emit some kind of electromagnetic waves, I couldn't really hear that well, from the game screen, which would let them know who had purchased it. If the game console connected to the internet, things got even more sinister. It would send a signal to them online, giving them the usernames names and address. I couldn't make out all the finer details, but the conversation was peppered with words like abduction, brainwashing, and submission, so it's clear they had some kind of nefarious plan in the works. That's why I decided to leave this message here, to warn you that you're at risk, and the danger is getting even nearer. It wasn't even including this message in a way that they wouldn't find it. If they don't discover it, they will surely kill me. But the time you read this, I may already have left the world of living. But when I think of you, an innocent gaming enthusiast just looking to play a great game, I cannot stand idly by and do nothing. If it's been a month or more since you purchased the game, then they almost certainly know who you are. It's only a matter of time before they show up, and you're home. Maybe it's already too late. They might already be there, keeping an eye on you as they wait for the right moment to strike. Has anyone moved into your neighborhood lately? Did the clerk at the nearby convenience store get replaced by someone else? If you live with parents or siblings, take a good look, close look at their faces. It's not inconceivable that they've been swapped, or with convincing fakes. You don't feel like someone's there watching over your shoulder right now, do you? It's Bear-chan. It's totally Bear-chan. Dun, dun, dun! Wait, if you do sense a watcher, don't just turn around. Well, I already just turned around, dude. A little bit late on that. A little bit late! If they do, they will notice, and you'll become their prey on the spot. Just act like you're enjoying the game and you haven't noticed anything unusual. I mean, I'm saying this out loud to an audience. This is a little weird. Maybe you don't believe me, but this is all true. The conspiracy is getting bigger. It's spread throughout Japan, throughout the rest of the world. Now it's on your very doorstep. This is not the first time I've included messages like this in a game. The last time I did so, several brave people took action. Perhaps that's the reason why Koichi Nakamura grows more restless every day. Just a little more. We need just a little more patience. At long last, we have a chance to stop their secret plan. Try to hold out if you can. Don't get too caught up in their conspiracy. Don't be deceived by their schemes. The day of our victory approaches. The prismatic bookmark. That just scared the shit out of me. They walk among us, an honorary SOS member. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. Just do this real quick. So, let's show you guys some cool things. If it works. Cool, it's not working. Alright, cool. Can you guys see Steam? Or no? Probably not. I can't see Steam. Is it just a black square? No? Okay. Go figure. Okay. So. Can't really shift tab. Because, yeah, no, it's not going to do that. Alright. So. Let's talk about a few cool things. So. If you are playing this game. Actually, I can kind of show it. It's going to be really hard to see. Let me do this real quick. So I'm going to go to Just Kit. This is what the achievements look like. As you can see, it is mean clean. So that gives you the hint that mean clean is a big part of this game. That is what the achievement icons are. So if you're playing this game on PS3, PS4, so on and so forth. That is what the achievements are. So that's how you kind of know that mean clean is a big part of this game. Is you just see him like pretty much everywhere. I'm gonna head back over here. We have now 100% of the game too, so that's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. You can play door door. There is nothing important about playing door door. You get nothing from playing door door. It is just a reference to one of the first games that. What up, Cheese Lord? It's a reference to one of the first games that Koichi Nakamura has ever made, called Door Door. I believe it's from the NES. They just use Mean Clean because Mean Clean is the mascot for this game. Yes, Mean Clean is the mascot, not Tama. Tama is the mascot for those who... Put it this way. And you guys will see this with a lot of Spike Chunsoft games, as well as a lot of like visual novel games. For those who have not played the game, Tama is the mascot because mascot character. However, if you beat in the game, Mean Clean is the mascot, and you know that because you beat the game. Of course, we can now prove that we beat the game. We now have the prismatic bookmark, and it took us 45 hours and 30 minutes to 100% this game. We got 10 good endings and 85 bad endings. So we got all of it. So good stuff. All right. So other things I want to talk about at the end of the stream, because yeah, that's the end of the stream. Really short stream, but we got through the rest of the scenarios because we have 100% of the game. We got to see Rumi's face. Rumi actually was really cute, not gonna lie. But we finally got to see Rumi's face. That ending credit scene was so adorable. That was absolutely adorable. I loved every second of it. Every second of it. It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. Okay. So, questions to probably answer real quick. Not really real quick. We can talk for a bit. Mean Clean. Before all the scenarios, I only knew Ken and Suzune. I didn't know the last 3 scenarios until about when we started the Suzune story, because that's when I was informed that looking around and finding everything isn't going to be easy, so that's why I had to use a guide. I don't really like using guides in games, except for if I'm like crazily 100%ing it, Animal Crossing, or if like there's something that just doesn't make sense. But I like the Mean Clean story. The scenarios, the conspiracy ones, there's a conspiracy and true conspiracy, or what they're called. Those are pretty cool as well. They're interesting. They're definitely very, very interesting. There is a game that precedes this game. However, finding a copy of that game, I would have to do that when I get out of debt. Which, for when the stream's up and the VOD is up, not a really good time. I'm one of the few people making money right now, so I'll be out of debt, but it's not gonna be good for a lot of other people. It's very hard times for a lot of people, so it's scary. But there is a game, I believe it's called Machi, is what it's called, but I think it's Japanese only. There's a lot of references to Machi in this game. Hello, Agent Sincere, welcome to stream. aka, I believe that might be punny. Machi is supposedly, it's like the spiritual predecessor to this game. I believe it is only in Japanese, but I do want to learn Japanese. Yeah, Baba. I really want to learn Japanese. I will start trying to learn Japanese probably in the middle of this year, because there are some games that are Japanese only that I want to play. Primarily the Utano Prince Sama games, Exile Isle, and Machi would be interesting. Might be able to do some like sessions or something to figure it out, or I have to go to college. But by far, like, this game though, favorite game of all time. This game has a fantastic story. Has his Agent Sense. Oh, it's not punny. I see Vut and I always think it's punny. So Agent Sense, gotcha. I didn't know. I don't know, guys. But yeah, this game though is definitely my favorite game of all time. It's past AI the Somnium Files, it's past Persona 5, it's past Danganronpa 1, 2, and V3. This game has given us a lot of ups and downs, and I'm so glad to share this with so many people. Now, there's something that I have been talking about that we talked about on Zombie Stream a few days ago that I want to bring up. And it leads into a few other things. For those who have watched this game on the stream, I have convinced Zombies Go Nom to stream this game. We're going to try to see if we could do it after he finishes Danganronpa with Mama Remy. But I've been begging him to let me be a part of it. I'm like, dude, I would never like back a game so much and request to be part of your stream than this game. I don't want to see anybody from my streams posting spoilers, thank you. You guys can reference Hitachi because he knows, like, he understands Hitachi, and Hitomi and Achi is a thing that comes along very early in the game. You guys can reference that. Don't reference Maria. Do not reference canon. Any sort of spoiler at all, I'm going to be going through and like helping remove. I'm not a mod on his channel, so I can't do that. But I am going to like essentially be like, I want to talk to their mods and like tell them like what's up and what to like look out for, what could be spoilers. I know my community is very well behaved, but when he plays the game, if I see spoilers, I will chew you out silently. I won't tell zombies, obviously, but yeah. Another thing is I'm going to be taking extensive notes while we are playing that game, mainly because there's going to be things that we have not seen. There are going to be things that, you know, we may have missed on our first time through. Can't tell me that he's good music with words to run. No, because that's hints at the end, this twist in the game. That hints at the final twist. Also, check out Aya Kaneki. She's actually a musician. She makes really good music. Check it out. But yeah, I should be, from what him and I were talking about, I more than likely will be there on stream with him when he's playing through the game. I will not be like, you know, telling him what to do and what to say, but I am going to give him, I'm going to let him know ahead of time. I'm going to tell him that if he wants to, he can definitely choose whichever like person to start off with first. If he wants to follow the story in an easy manner, then I will tell him who to use, so that way he can at least easily follow along to get the story good. But like I said, I'm going to be writing notes because King Cheese, you mentioned Achi's shirt having mean clean. I do want to, who thought I was Since? Me, because I see Vut. That's pretty much it. Sorry. Excuse me. Achi's shirt not having mean clean. It's shown in the documentary that at some points he has a shirt that does not have mean clean on it. There are I am going to be like marking down when we start seeing that mean clean is off his shirt. I'm not going to reference it, but we're going to do an inside joke for that. Okay? You guys aren't going to know it right now, but I have on a note card, I have something that I want my community to do every time that we at least see an instance of mean clean not being on Achi's shirt, just to see if he can at least notice. Okay? But it's not going to be like, I'm going to be like, clean, clean, clean. But we can say a sentence that involves the word. Because I want to be a little bit sinister about it, but, you know, he's not going to notice. He's not going to really notice or understand, but it's just going to be funny. So... It's gonna be interesting. Something else I also want to mention. The entire game was filmed like actually all in live action, and as you guys saw, but also like in a full video sort of stance. Theoretically, this game could possibly have like an entire movie based off it. Interesting. You clean up your attitude. See, I want to do something like a trash pun, but I'll think about it when we get to that point. It's not gonna be for a while. It's not gonna be for a few months, I don't think. Okay. So, but look out for that. I'm super excited to be part of it. And we're going to see a lot of things that, you know, now start making sense watching it the second time through. Like, this game definitely has some replay value. Now, that's the last thing I want to talk about. Replay value. This game will be streamed again on this channel. I've said when I first started my channel that if there's a game that I care passionately about that I played blind... Oops. That I either played blind or that I had a ton of fun with, I would play it again if the channel grows to a certain point. The main reason I say that for only blind games is because I want people to experience a game that is pretty much underrated on YouTube, right? Or underrated in society. 428 Shibuya Scramble is definitely this in the English market. A lot of people wrote this game off because they thought it wasn't, since it's not Danganronpa and such during the Spike Chunsoft meeting. I think King Cheese probably... I'm not seeing King Cheese pop off, so I'm going to take a guess that that's a thing. Oops. That the stream died for King Cheese. Unfortunate. I gotta wait for King Cheese to get back real quick. So I'm going to let you guys know kind of the specifics of it. Also, notice how all the images in the back are all from the 1400 hour plus. There's nothing after the 1400 hour that's in those back images. That's so interesting. That's so interesting. Waiting for the king cheese, because apparently the face was too much. The face was too much. So, but anyway, just to kind of continue, just to kind of keep that train of thought going, king cheese will hear it eventually. Yes, we are going to be playing this game again in the future. Because I want to show a bigger audience as well this game and why this game means so much to me. So this is actually going to be the start of a list moving forward that once we hit a certain milestone, this is going to sound insane, but let's say in the future if we hit 50,000 subs, right? Or even, you know, if the channel's growing fast, if we get to 100,000 subs, we will play this game again. A full stream version of it. And that way we have a lot more people, we have so many more people who will witness it for the first time. There's a reason why it's such a big number. Yes, we're at 1,000 right now. Yes, it's a whole dream big, and I really want to grow the channel, so on and so forth. We've heard that song and dance before. But the reason I'm saying that number, those numbers, is not because, you know, oh, in like 2 years I envision myself. No. It's a long goal. We're not going to be playing this again in a year, in 2 years, 3 years, unless something absolutely insane happens. But 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Extremely mean. There you go. So King Cheese, what I was announcing is when we hit 50,000, or if the channel is growing really fast, 100,000 subs, we will be playing this game again, start to finish, all routes, everything. Because, like what I said with my channel way early on, this was like supremely early on. This was more than like 2 years ago. More than 2 years ago. I want the games that I've played blind that maybe don't get so much recognition, such as this game. I want them to get more recognition, and if the channel is a way to do that, then I want to use it as a platform. So that's why I'm saying 50,000, or if it grows fast, 100,000. Maybe in the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, I don't care how long it takes. But as long as we can get to that point, I will stream this game again. I promise you all this. And who knows, 33-year-old Kit in the future, we hit 100,000 subs then or something, and we stream this game again. You know, we can look back and see 23-year-old Kit playing this game and just enjoying the hell out of it. It may still be my favorite game of all time at that point. You never know. You never know. But this is going to be the start of the list that will keep going for the rest of this channel's life cycle. It's not like the channel's dying in the next 2 years or something. No. For forevermore. Because I want to keep doing, you know, streaming content as long as I possibly can. As long as humanly possible. I want to keep streaming and making content. I want this to be a job at some point, to be honest. It'd be nice. It's a fun thing to do. Super fun. But once we hit the goal, we will play this game again. You guys have my word. We will play this game again. Questions regarding that, you know, why aren't I playing AI the Somnium Files? Because that was a really good game again. AI the Somnium Files got a lot of traction. It's still pretty popular with a lot of people. Not as much as this game did. This game got a 10 at like best marks. Not many people played it. So this game not only has not got enough attention as it deserves, I would even care if it's 10 years later and all of a sudden this game gets a second life. I think that'd be perfect. So that's going to be the start of our list. We're going to start that list of 428 Shibuya Scramble once we hit that big milestone in the future. so many more people are going to be able to enjoy this game. And that's the big thing I want for my channel. Not just all the growth, because I love growth and such, sure. But I want to show people games that they may have never played. Right?
Zombie.
Cool. I'll be down in a bit. But anyway, that was good, convenient timing. But yeah, that's what I want to do.
Are you streaming?
Yeah.
When are you gonna be done?
Like 2 minutes.
Oh. I was just wondering if you wanted me to break you up.
No, it's like 2 3 minutes, dude. We're good. That was a scrunch, by the way. But it's a great game. Favorite game of all time. Definitely was really, really good. But yeah, big thing for the channel. One of the few things I really want to do with the channel is play games that may have not gotten a lot of attention, but definitely deserve a lot more, and expose the game in a good way, of course, to so many more people. So yeah, that's why I encourage you guys, you know, that's why WizBoo now has the timer. Like the streams, guys. It gets the channel out there and helps out a lot. Share the streams. Getting people to subscribe. I'd appreciate the growth. I appreciate you guys as well, because you guys are a fantastic community. Anyway, enough of me rambling. This is usually the point. I talk about a new game that is going to be coming to the channel when we finish a game. I'm just going to announce it here that it's not going to be a new game that's going to be played. Zanki Zero will be returning. Now that we have finished 428 Shibuya Scramble, we're going to be focusing on completing Mario Odyssey and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is going to be taking a lot of spaces for 428 Shibuya Scramble. But in mid-April, Zanki Zero will return. If you want to get caught up with the game, we are on Island 7 in the game. I stopped that game, just for a little heads up for those who don't know those streams. I stopped that game about a few months back because I thought the game was too easy and I wanted to 100% it. And the best way to 100% that game was playing on the hardest difficulty, which I already had a file going for it. I am on Island 5. I am 2 islands away from getting to that point, which is fine, which is good. But I need to get there by April, so that way I can start playing that game again, and then that way we can 100% it. We're actually super close to 100%ing it, but I need to. So it's just in growth. True, but it's all good. Jeez, we all see that growth, hopefully. But yeah, Zanki Zero will be back. I recommend checking out those streams because that is also a fantastic game. That is also an underrated game. I'm not sure if it's going to be on that list as well, but it's definitely a very underrated game. So we're going to give it a shot. We're going to go back to that. Anyway, with that being said, we will be streaming in probably like 30 or 45 minutes. We'll be playing Animal Crossing again. I have a lot to show you guys because a lot has happened between last stream and that stream, because I got to play for the past 10 hours before the stream. I'll let you guys know about that when we get there. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, and or evening. My name is Katathi. I'll see you guys next time from Ready Gaming, and thank you so much for watching 428 Shibuya Scramble, which I can proudly and safely say that this is my favorite game of all time. Kano, Achi, Kenji Osawa, Minorikawa, Maria, Hitomi, Tateno, Jack Stanley, Suzune, Cannon, even Alphard. All fantastic characters. Buy this game if you haven't. Play this game. Experience the canon scenario for yourself. Support this game. Later, everybody. Peace.